Hey y'all, what's going on? So I see that y'all here with me today. Welcome back to SnipTalksMMA. So I'm out here driving. I'm watching this car almost about to plaster me out here. I'm in this Houston traffic, and man, last Saturday I went to that John Jones and Dominick Reyes UFC 247 fight, and I watched Valentina against Chookagian. And man, you know what? The judging was so horrendous, man. I don't even know what to say. Judging was bad. Everything about that was crazy. But hey, I'll just get into what I think, man. So check this out. When I watch, I'm gonna talk about Valentina Shevchenko before I get into Derrick Lewis and all that other stuff, man. Valentina looked like she the truth, man. People criticized her by not finishing these women out here, so she made a conscious decision to start finishing. At least that's my opinion, and she's been doing it. I didn't even realize, being in the Toyota Center, about that elbow that Valentina threw. You didn't even know that Caitlin was busted open until you looked at the screen. It's like, oh, it got her. In the second round, I knew it was a wrap because you could see the wheel. Caitlin kind of diminished a little bit. She tried to pull guard by grabbing her, just like, dude, no, that's not gonna work. Valentina too strong. Once she went ahead and utilized her judo, got her on the ground, and then she patiently waited in side control, put her knees together, and waited for the moment that Caitlin moved her arm. After that, it was so fast, it was like, wow, like a Venus flytrap or something. I was like, dang. And once she got that leg, it was a wrap, man. She got it caught in that mounted crucifix. She caught them punches. She tried her best to get out of that position, and it was a wrap. So now we look at who in the heck is Valentina going to fight next. Now, my opinion, she's not going to fight nobody like Matafari, Roxanne. Some people were saying, if Macy would have won the fight, Macy would have got the shot. But, the only person really right now is Carter Wood, man. She will have to fight her next. And then we'll go from there, man. But that stuff is crazy when you look at it as a whole, man. Man, these fights is bananas, man. So let's look at Derrick Lewis. So the judging, I feel like, it's tough, man. Latifi did his thing, man. Nice, solid debut. He really didn't do anything when he got Lewis down. He didn't try to advance positions. He just pretty much just tried to wait it out, man. It's like, dude, this is not like for real wrestling. What you doing? You need to try to win the fight. Derrick Lewis is trying to win the fight. So just based off aggression, I guess you got to give it to Derrick Lewis, man. It's the hometown judging right there, but he got that W, man. I just also seen on Ariel Helwani, man, talking about Derrick Lewis got some kind of medical condition, but he still want to be on standby just in case Ngannou and Rosenstruck don't fall through up in March coming up. So we'll see how that go. I think Derrick Lewis should take some time off. I will say he looked in phenomenal shape, and he looked like the Black Rhino instead of Black Beast. Black Rhino with that flying knee, man, which was bananas. Crazy. I can't even believe it. So let's get to the real thing, man. So IG did his thing, man. IG is, Dan is the man, man. Can't discredit him, man. I picked him. I was glad he won. He got that W. Now, let's go to the John Jones and Dominick Reyes fight. So I think we all can agree that the first round, it went to Dominick Reyes. Clearly, he was the aggressor. He countered John. What was interesting, all right, so he kept trying to go for his head, and eventually, them coaches, you can hear Joe Daddy Stevenson like, body, and he eventually started doing it because you can't really hit John in his face just because of the length, man. It's tough. You got 88 arms. Reyes got like 78 or something. Like, dude, So the body was working, man. Every time John switched, boom, he always made sure that he attacked his body. Dominick Reyes did a lot of movement, lateral movement. Great, man. Get in, slip out. Get in, escape. He caught John a couple times. Nasty left uppercut. This actually shows that John Jones do have a chin. I think we all know that just from the Santos fight, man, because Santos caught him once or twice clean. So we all know that Jones do have a chin because the slow motion on that uppercut, I was like, oh man. But what usually happens, man, in these type of fights, man, John Jones actually showed why he is the champion. He showed that will, that power, that grit by hanging in there, and he took some of those to the chin, tough, man. When it was fourth and fifth round, John Jones looked like John Jones. So he stopped some of the movement from Reyes. Reyes looked like he was exhausted, especially that fifth round, man. And Jones looked like he had to have a sense of urgency because, as you guys all seen in this corner, John, you're losing the fight. You got to knock him out, John. So John was doing everything he can, but, Dominick just kept doing his thing. Keep moving. Don't stand in front of John. And I think other fighters would try to use that strategy. But the thing is, they not an athlete. That's what Reyes kept saying, man. And I guess he was right. He is an athlete because that football that he keep talking about, that wrestling that he talked about, baseball, hey, man, Reyes is an athlete. But more importantly, Reyes is a mixed martial artist, man. So give him much credit. I think he needs to fight Santos, man. I know we want an immediate rematch, man. But, in this world we live in, that's not going to happen. John Jones is going to fight the winner of this upcoming fight night of Corey Anderson and Jan Blachowicz. I probably butchered his name, man. I apologize. This is their second fight, so it's going to be an interesting fight. I think Corey Anderson will win this fight. It looked like he fight better when he's mad, but I don't think he can out-wrestle John Jones. Actually, I think this is going to make John have a spectacular finish against Corey Anderson because he needed. So, what happens to Dominick Reyes? All right, so Anthony Smith is fighting Glover Teixeira coming up. Santos is still on the shelf with those knees. So who in the heck can Reyes fight? That's a great question, man. We really have to look at the rankings. He's not going to fight Cormier. Cormier trying to fight Stipe. Stipe's still out. We don't know when Stipe coming back after the eye surgery, potentially, that he may have. So it's just a waiting game now. We just have to see what happens. But it's just so crazy, man. The UFC, I don't know, man. I know John got the record. I almost feel like John Jones is starting to fight like GSP. Trying to make sure. Even Woodley, man, like, you fight hard. You fight a certain way to get the belt. And all of a sudden now you just try to keep the belt because you want that money. And that's in Woodley's case. My bad. No disrespect, Tyron. I'm just saying, man. That's what it's about, bro. Keeping that paper, man. Because now you fighting Leon Edwards. And you found the truth, man. You was getting that championship paper. Now you're getting regular fighter paper. That's a top contender paper. So a little bit different, bro. But we had to see what happened, man. I think John Jones need to do some other things to shore up his game, man. Now people see another weakness outside of the legs is the lateral movement. Every fighter can do that. Keep moving like Reyes, though, because they're not an athlete. Not trying to be funny, man, but I'm just saying that lateral movement on a lot of guys to consistently keep doing it, and you're doing 5 rounds, you're not going to be able to do it. But I think if Reyes rematch, I think he would look good in the end. But the crazy part, man, is John Jones in rematches, man. He's a monster in rematches. You see what he did to Gustafsson. You see what he did to DC minus the drugs. I know. And if he fights Santos, I think he will wrestle Santos. And when he fight Reyes, I think what John Jones will do differently is he's going to fight and keep his stance so that he won't get attacked on the switch. He's going to step back, switch, come in. I think he will fight like the old Jones. Like, if you watch any of them old fights, like Shogun or Rua, I think he will fight more like that. More like he fought in the 5th round. Especially the 5th round, he's a lot more aggressive. That's how John Jones used to fight. Like, immediately take the center of the octagon and attack. He used to be the guy that attacked first. I watched Joe Rogan and Rashad talk about John Jones, and it's like, yeah, man, Reyes come in like how John Jones used to come into the fights. So John needs to switch up his game, stop being a little conservative, and pick him and try to read him. I get it, man. Anderson did it, after a while. Dude, you've been in the game since you've been 22, 18, 19, 20, somewhere in the 20. You've been there since you're 20. You're 33. Hey, man, I think you need to, go back to the old Jones and be that angry Johnny. Come out to that pole and come out a little differently, man. You gotta be a little different, Johnny Jones, if you want to keep this title. Now the big thing is your pound for pound status. Is it will stay the same? You know, if Khabib beats Tony, a lot of people on CNN or Bleacher Report, you know, even MMA Junkie, man, a lot of these guys is talking about how, you know, if Khabib win this fight against Tony, that you could be number 2 in the pound for pound rankings. Even though you shouldn't be, man. Your resume is too high, regardless of your current performances, to be number 2. That still don't even make sense. But we had to see what happened, man. But hey, you guys, I appreciate you for checking me out today. You know, this is my riding video. I like doing these too, man. I'll give you guys some more good information, man. I'll even share some more things that I've seen with Valentina and John Jones. And hey, just keep watching, man. I appreciate you guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Catch me on the next one.